The Pakistani government has responded to this attack by India. Now the guns have fallen silent and now time for fiery speeches. You heard the Prime Minister of Pakistan there saying that Pakistan reserves the right to respond, and it has shown restraint in its response so far. So is this going to escalate, or is the worst behind us? To discuss that further with us is the former Foreign Minister of Pakistan and the chairman of the Pakistan People's Party, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari. Thank you very much for taking the time. And do you think that the clouds of war are over, or are we going on the escalatory ladder?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'd like to start by sending my condolences to the families of the men, women, and unfortunately children that were martyred in the late-night Indian attacks on Pakistani territory. As far as are we rising up the escalation ladder, as you quoted, the Prime Minister, the government, the National Security Committee has stated that under Article 51 of the UN Charter, Pakistan has the right to respond. Yesterday, or last night, Pakistan's Air Force acted with courage, precision, and bravery, and shot down 5 Indian aircrafts. Pakistan has not sought altercation. Pakistan has not sought war. We are the aggrieved. India is the aggressor. But now that we have been attacked, we have the right to defend ourselves. And that's what the Prime Minister and the government have announced.
India has said that this was a calculated attack. It went after terrorist camps, and it has said that this was actually, it was carrying out a measured response as well. How would you respond, and how do you see those statements?
First of all, India has manufactured a lie about some fictional terrorist camps to justify the mass murder of Pakistani civilians, including women and children. If there was indeed any such terrorist camp, then why did India reject Pakistan's proposal for an international, impartial investigation into the incident? Why did they not wait for the international journalists who were in the process of visiting these alleged sites before attacking and targeting innocent civilians in the manner in which they did? The disproportionate nature of India's response, the way in which they not only targeted civilians but civilian infrastructure such as dams. In fact, their initial reaction to the terrorist attack, where they unilaterally suspended the Indus Water Treaty and threatened the water source or food supply, as also ultimately of 200 million people, shows the very indiscriminate nature, disproportionate nature of India's response to a terrorist attack that took place within their own borders. They still to this day have been unable to name to us, to tell us, to share with us or anybody else those who were involved in these attacks, despite Pakistan's consistent calls for an impartial inquiry.
And very quickly, where do we go from here? It feels like the rhetoric is increasing on both sides, even after these attacks. What's next? What will Pakistan do? And not just in terms of retaliation and military maneuvering, what is Pakistan's next move on the diplomatic front?
What choice does Pakistan have? Our citizens have been killed. Innocent civilians have been killed. Our sovereignty has been violated. India, our larger neighbor, has conducted unilateral, illegal, aggressive actions within Pakistan. It is incumbent upon the government and the armed forces to respond to any military or kinetic action, and obviously, as you mentioned, diplomatically in this situation. Pakistan does not seek war. We've never pursued the path to conflict, but India is making it very difficult, and they're once again threatening the peace and stability in all of South Asia. I do call on the international community to play their role, because this is not just a bilateral issue, this is a global issue. It's a potential global crisis between 2 nuclear-armed neighbors. They must intervene and ensure that India is held accountable for these actions, that sanity prevails in Delhi, and join in Pakistan's demand for an impartial inquiry into the terrorist incident that took place, because Pakistan's clear, our hands are clean, and we'd like to get to the bottom of this, but also establish such a forum with international acceptability, with bilateral acceptability, that could not only look into this terrorist attack, but heaven forbid there's another terrorist attack in the future, be it in India, be it in Pakistan, we should have this established mechanism in order to investigate those terrorist attacks, get to the bottom of it, and actually do justice with the victims, rather than propelling two nuclear-armed nations into war and sort of subjugating our people at the mercy of these non-state actors and terrorist groups whenever they decide to do such.
Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, thank you very much for being with us. That's the word here from Pakistan, where there seems to be calls for de-escalation, there seems to be desire for de-escalation, but there is this duty that has been announced by the government of Pakistan and the military of Pakistan, that because its civilians have been targeted, because its people have been killed, it now has to respond in a befitting manner. Shama Mujawed, Jazeera, Islamabad.